Time and time, it has been proved that ancient technologies were far more advanced than the modern technology, one of which is the eternal Ellora caves. Now, this is not some normal group of caves which people use as shelters. It is what we might call the impossible. Namaste and welcome back to another episode of Incredible India with Sid. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and press that notification button. Ellora, also known as Ellora and in ancient times as Ellapura, is a sacred site in Maharashtra, central India. The Ellora caves are listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. It is a group of Hindu, Buddhist and Jain temples and monuments which were carved from the local cliff rock in the 6th to 8th century CE, which is basically the Common Era. Each group has its own speciality with great fineness and detailed carvings that it is quite impossible to imagine making this from the tools they used. Today, we have a lot of machines which come in various shape and size, used to do the things which might take us humans a long time to complete. But even after all this technical advancement, these machines have their own limitations. The Ellora caves have been studied by many scientists around the world. They checked many factors like the workforce, the structure of the plateau carved, the instruments used, and came to the conclusion that it would have taken more than 100 years to finish this temple construction with those tools of that time. However, in reality, it took only 18 years to complete it. What is more interesting is that even with the 21st century machines and knowledge, modern age engineers find it impossible to finish the same temple using the modern technology in 18 years. It may not be officially declared as one of the best wonders of the world, but no one can deny the greatness of the Ellora caves. This is the map of the Ellora caves. The Buddhist caves are amongst the largest excavated anywhere and were carved later than the Hindu ones, probably between the 7th and 8th centuries CE. Their layouts are more complex. The Vishwakarma cave, number 10, has one of the largest seated Buddha figures. But the most spectacular example of the Ellora caves is the 8th century CE Kailasa temple from the Hindu caves, which at 32 meters high is the largest rock cut monument in the world. Built by Krishna I of the Rashtrakuta dynasty to celebrate his victory over the Pallavas. It increased even more the grandeur of the Ellora, which had been made capital by Danti Durga, Krishna's predecessor, following his victory over the rival Chalukyas in 753 CE. Now look at this photo of the Kailasa temple. Doesn't look much tough to build, right? But now look at this photo. We can clearly see how much of the mountain was scooped out. There was a big block of mountain here and then they built this. The temple was built by digging out from the sloping basalt hill two massive trenches, each 90 meter long and joined with a connecting trench 53 meter in length. The temple was then carved for the remaining central portion. This resulted in a 32 meter high structure that seems to come out of the ground. The temple has a 3-story Vimana tower with octagonal dome and two huge freestanding columns flanking the Mandapa entrance hall, which has 16 columns set in groups of 4. There is also the usual Nandi shrine with Shiva's sacred bull calf staring in the direction of the inner sanctuary. Now, normally, a building is built from the ground, which is basically from bottom to the top. But this was built from top and then went to the bottom. There's a story of how they came up with this idea. The story is that a king fell sick, so his wife decided to build a temple for Shiva. The king was cured, but the queen refused to eat food until she saw the kalash of the temple. While you guys might be wondering what's a kalash, a mandir kalash is a metal or a stone spire used to top the domes of Hindu temples. It has been used for the purpose since the eras of Chalukyas, Guptas and Mauryas. Now this posed a very big problem. How to build a temple and come to the kalash before the queen dies, because if they had started from the ground, it would take a long time to finish the temple and then add the kalash at the top. By this time the queen would have been dead. So you do it in reverse and start with the kalash. A copper plate contemporary with the temple's construction gives this impressive description. Now, this talks about how beautiful it was and how the architect himself would not believe that he made something such magnificent. But there's something which is out of reference. If you guys read this text again, you might come across the word celestial cars. I had made a video on Vimanas or planes being invented in India long before Wright brothers. This text is just another addition to the list of proofs. Even to think of something like this in those times is only possible if you have at least seen or heard things like that. But again, when we Google this fact, what do we get? This result stating that a person called Carl Benz was the first human to patent a machine run by a gas engine. Even though there are proofs, people still find these ancient inventions to be fake or a conspiracy theory. This is what we might call pure negligence. Recently, I was watching a documentary which claimed that ancient aliens had carved the caves at Ellora. They said it would not be humanly possible to do that work at that particular time. And they also said that mathematics and engineering were not advanced enough at that time to build it. However, when you look at Ellora, it's very clear who carved it. Building something which feels unearthly is really a big feat to achieve. And time the old Indian architectures, inventions have showed us this. And that is why most of them are considered a myth, story and unearthly. If you guys get a chance, you should really visit these caves. Seeing these things in the form of pictures will give you an experience, but not that effective. When you guys see it for real, it will make you ponder one and only one thing. How was it made? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can follow me on Instagram, on which I will post small posts or incidents relating to the Indian history. And if you want to give me credit, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with another exciting video. Until then, namaste.